Hi, so I figured to give you an update of 1 month on with the Blackmagic Pocket 4K cinema camera. Um, so here it is. When I had the original Blackmagic Pocket cinema camera, and by the way, I bought it once, and then I sold it, and then I bought it again like a half a year later, and then I sold it. But my favorite lens on it was the Olympus 22 millimeter, which 12 millimeter, which generally works out to 24 millimeter on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So I've been using that. Well, I bought that, and I really like it. And then I've had the Sigma 17 to 50, which I use on the 7D with Magic Lantern Raw. And because I bought this camera used, and it came with the Metabones EF focal reducer to the Blackmagic, I put this lens on it, and again, I'm in love with it again. I just love this lens. With the focal reducer, because it's 0.7, so the 2.8 becomes like 1.8 or whatever. Anyway, it's just a great lens, and I love it on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. And I also have this 12 to 60 kit lens from Panasonic lying around. I haven't used it much, but I do plan on using it because it's very light. All right, so the negative so far on this camera, it's number one. You just can't go out and shoot any footage. It's going to be like beautiful, you know. Now I'm going to put a clip here where I show you that where I go down the Constitution Marina, thinking that the camera alone is going to make the world look beautiful, but it doesn't. That said, you know, it's still as nice as an image as I could imagine. The second thing that's been a downfall is the back of the screen. I wish the focus peaking was a little bit stronger. So that's sort of been an issue. However, that's it. Otherwise, I've never been an ergonomics guy. I'm like, you know, as long as the camera does what it needs to do, I don't really care like about the menu system. I mean, I figure it out, whatever, I get on with my life. I don't really worry about it. But boy, do I love it on this thing. I mean, it's like everything's right at my fingertips. I mean, so generally I'll set on zebras, and immediately I'll hit the shutter or to go back and forth into the aperture, and I'll bring the aperture to where I want it, you know, for the zebras basically, unless I want to shoot really wide open, and then I switch the shutter. So, you know, whatever, a combination of those two. But it's so easy with your fingers on here, and then to hit the record button. And I'm not even maxing out what you could do with the custom buttons or everything. Same thing, the menu is just so easy to reach. And then if I just want to do a quick focus, I can do that, though I haven't been doing that. And the menu system. So, I mean, the ergonomics of this thing for video are just, it really is making a difference to me. And I'm actually super surprised, because this is the last thing I thought I'd really enjoy. And I even have to wonder, even if I stop shooting raw because it's too much, whether I just keep this camera, shoot at ProRes light, just for the ergonomics of shooting with it. Now, the downside of these cameras is that they don't have stabilization, in-camera stabilization, and they don't have, what's the other thing that they don't have? In-camera stabilization, and, oh yeah, autofocus. So, but you know, I don't really care. Like I want to like focus myself, and I'll show a video where I do like a quick like product thing for a friend of mine. He built this organ thing, and I just, you know, do the manual focus on, you know, on this lens, and I love the way it goes in and out of focus. So I wouldn't use autofocus if I had it, so I don't really care. And the same thing, you know, when I'm shooting with this, it's so, you know, wide open, it really focus isn't a huge big deal. So, you know, the other thing I want to mention is that in DaVinci, there's like this auto coloring button. So if you go into color tab and then you pick your clips and just hit the A, it'll bring the color within like 90% of what I want. For me, it's a little bit oversaturated for my taste, but that's fine. I just go to saturation, I put it down to what I like, and I might change the lift for the blacks and the gain for the whites, and I'm pretty much done. And then if I like that particular look and it's all the same clips in the same day, just copy the attributes over, and very quick. So, I mean, again, you don't have to use DaVinci. I'm not using DaVinci like all the really wide. I do really basic stuff on it. And again, can't believe how far that software has come it's come along. So like the organ thing, I mean, I edited it together in, I don't know, 20 minutes. I mean, it's just so fast. And again, I just started using it again a month ago, and I hardly use it at all. So I really am super impressed at what I can do with this Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Now, I'm also doing other tracks where I'm looking at the Sony ZV-1. I'm almost sure that's going to be my portable, like, utility video photo camera. Now, for regular still photography, I use the GR3. I love the GR2 for the past 5 years, but then it broke. Well, it didn't break, it just didn't work all the time. I couldn't believe I'd love it anymore, but I do love it more because it has a stabilized sensor. You can hear it like move around, which is a little disconcerting. But anyway, like I've been able to take shots at like at 1/4 of a second, just incredible. So really, I think with this, the Sony ZV-1 and the Blackmagic, I'm totally covered. And I'll do another video about how I view all those working at the same time. Anyway, I think that's enough with that. So I'm going to go on and show you some clips for the past week. Sorry, again, this video is all over the place, but that's who I am. Be able to take some shots, all the shots with the Blackmagic, because it doesn't autofocus, it doesn't have stabilization. Anyway, so my thought this evening is, again, I need to force myself to take the camera out and use it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to visit my brother-in-law. Oh, why did I buy that camera? I remember I wanted to take some video of my grandson and my daughter, and of course she left early, or not left early, just the camera was whatever. And now I have it, and you know, I'm again forcing myself to use it, but my natural inclination is just to yabber about something. I want to yabber about the construction on the skyline. You know, how do we see the world? And I see the world through my intellect. Not through visual stuff. I want to yabber about this condo building they just finished. Like, who's going to live there? I mean, all this stuff they're building everywhere. I guess that person's going to live there. Well, I'm not sure anybody's moving there. You know, it's not really near public transportation. Well, I actually take that back. The Green Line's going to move in. There'll still be probably a half-mile walk down here. There's a city. You can still see. You can see the many cranes in the distance. Especially over here. So now I wish like somebody else was driving, I could be taking this footage with the Blackmagic. That would be some sweet footage. Let me get it closer to the windshield. Though I suspect that this gives you the idea. You know, I built all these gadgets so I could mount multiple cameras in the car. Should really get those back and do that again. And just follow through with that idea of narrating while in the car driving. My idea was like you narrate with a couple of people, but I could just even do it by myself. Or again, go back to the couple of people, roll down the windshields. Look how nice the light is today. I'm also trying just to shoot with the Ollie 12mm on the Blackmagic, which is an effective 24mm. Sort of matches my Ricoh GR. Do everything in 24mm, which is what I like. You know, I take this footage, and of course when I get home I'm not going to feel like loading it on the computer, and I'm not going to care about it anymore. Another reason why I don't understand my continual desire to do a YouTube channel when I don't have the desire to show the video. I love to shoot it, I love to shoot photography, but the actual production of it, the exhibition of it, I don't have that exhibitionist personality. But I keep doing it anyway.